Welcome to the reading of the Times Reporter newspaper for Monday, December the 21st. My name is Pam, and let's begin our reading with the area deaths. Donald Neal Davis, age 66, passed on December 2nd. Due to the pandemic, there will be a private funeral service. A celebration of life will take place in 2021. Rick A. Gordon, age 66, of Mineral City, passed away Wednesday, December 16th. Due to COVID-19, a memorial service will be held at a later date. W. Dean Gottschall, 86, of Carrollton, passed away early Friday morning, December 18th, at Carroll Healthcare Center in Carrollton. A public graveside service will be held Tuesday, December 22nd at 11:30 a.m. at Westfield Cemetery in Carrollton. Zachary Scott Hardgrove, age 31, of New Philadelphia, died suddenly on Thursday, December 17th, at the Cleveland Clinic in Cleveland. In keeping with the family's wishes, Zach is to be cremated through the care of Lynn Hurtgabe Funeral Home and Crematory in New Philadelphia, and the family will conduct a memorial service in Tennessee at a later date. Joan M. Anderson McLaughlin, 54, of New Philadelphia, passed away Monday, October 12th, at the Community Hospice Truman House after a short but courageous battle with cancer. There will be no services or calling hours. Wilbert A. Ritchie Jr., age 93, of Magnolia, passed away Friday, December 18th. A private service will be held Wednesday at 11 a.m. in the Fine Frock Gordon Funeral Home in Magnolia. Live streaming will begin at 10:45, and there will be no calling hours. Edgar Dale Spencer, 80, of Janadenhutton, passed away on Friday, December 18th, at Cleveland Clinic Union Hospital in Dover after a brief illness. In the interest of public health, a private family graveside service will be held at Janadenhutton Clay Union Cemetery. Richard T. Bartle, age 80, of Tippecanoe, died the morning of Friday, December 18th, in Trinity West Hospital, Steubenville. Calling hours will be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Freeport Presbyterian Church on Monday, December 21st, with services beginning at 1 p.m. Raymond Cordray, 80, passed away Thursday, December 17th, at Union Hospital in Dover. Visitation will be 1 to 2 p.m. Monday at Black Epperson Funeral Home, Byesville, where services will follow at 2 p.m. Friends and family are welcome, but due to the COVID-19, masks are required. Darren Russell McMillan, 55, of Tippecanoe, was called home to his father on Wednesday, December 16th, at Mercy Medical Center in Canton. In the interest of public health, a private family service is planned. Kenneth Eugene Smith, 95, of Uhrichsville, passed away on Thursday, December 17th, at Claymont Health and Rehabilitation in Uhrichsville after a brief illness. In the interest of public health, a memorial service is planned for a future date when his family and friends may gather safely to celebrate his life. And that concludes the area reading. And that concludes the reading of the area deaths from today's online edition. We will now begin with our first article. Can you guess what our first article is about? And you would be right. COVID-19 death toll reaches 118 in Tuscarawas County. The New Philadelphia City Health Department and the Tuscarawas County Health Department were notified on Friday of 3 COVID-19 related deaths in the community. That brings the number of COVID-19 related deaths in Tuscarawas County to 118. The deceased were a 77-year-old man, an 82-year-old woman, and an 83-year-old woman. As of Friday afternoon, there were 5,456 cases of COVID-19 in Tuscarawas County, an increase of 70 since Thursday. Of that number, 1,423 are active cases and 3,917 are presumed recovered. On a more hopeful note, the Tuscarawas County Health Department announced Friday that it had received the first of its ancillary supplies for the COVID-19 vaccines. We hope to start receiving vaccines for first responders as early as next week, the department said on its Facebook page. COVID-19 cases in Tuscarawas County long-term care facilities as of Wednesday. Amberwood Manor, 1 new resident case. Claymont Health and Rehabilitation, 12 new residents, 4 new staff. Country Club Retirement Campus, 2 new resident cases. Hennis Care Center in Bolivar, 12 new resident cases, 15 new staff cases. Hennis Care Center in Dover Nursing Home, 1 new resident, 6 new staff cases. The Inn at Northwood Village, 31 new resident cases, 9 new staff cases. New Dawn Retirement Community, 3 new resident cases, 2 new staff cases. Park Village Assisted Living North, 1 new staff case. Park Village Dover Campus Assisted Living, 1 new staff case. Park Village Dover Campus Nursing Home, 34 new resident cases, 13 new staff cases. Riverside Manor and Nursing Rehab, 27 new resident cases, 13 new staff cases. And Schönbrunn Healthcare, 1 new resident case and 3 new staff cases. Well, let's move on. No state funds available to fix Waterworks Hill Road slippage by John Baker. In Yerkesville, with no state funds readily available to fix a major slip on Waterworks Hill Road south of Yerkesville, the county engineer's office is exploring options with the prosecutor's office on the matter. The road, which follows the banks of Big Stillwater Creek near the former water plant of the Twin City Water and Sewer District, has been closed since late October after about 1,200 feet of the pavement began to crumble. The slip was noticed a day after a dam on the Big Stillwater was removed in Yerkesville. Engineer Joe Bachman said he approached the Ohio Public Works Commission to get a grant to repair the road, but all emergency funding has been used up for this fiscal year. None would be available until after the start of the state's next fiscal year, which begins July 1st. So he's begun working with the prosecutor's office on the issue. Litigation is a possibility, but I'm not saying it is going to happen, Bachman said. That is up to the prosecutor's office. There are several parties involved there. The dam, which was owned by the Twin City Water and Sewer District, was removed on the recommendation of the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency. After the Water District drilled water wells near Claymont High School, the old water treatment plant on Big Stillwater Creek was closed. The dam was used to back up water for the treatment plant. Since the dam was no longer needed and it posed a safety hazard, Ohio EPA determined it should be removed. The state agency paid for the project, which was done in October. While the Yerkesville Lowhead Dam removal and restoration project is being funded primarily with money from Ohio EPA's Water Resource Restoration Sponsor Program, the agency is not involved in implementing the project, said Anthony Chenault, a media coordinator for the state agency. The Waterworks Hill Road area has also been plagued in the past by problems with a coal and clay mine that was abandoned in 1932. I have viewed the slip area on the west side of Waterworks Hill Road, right along the banks of the Stillwater Creek, said Kevin Brockner, an environmental specialist with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. I would not associate this movement with the abandoned underground line. The closing of Waterworks Hill Road has impacted 5 families who live in the vicinity of the slip. 2 residents, Linda Wren and Joey Elwood, met with the Twin City Water and Sewer District Board on Thursday to discuss the situation. We know it's only 5 families, but it's a big deal, Wren told the board. The post office thinks the road's too dangerous to deliver our mail. It's not convenient to go into town to get your mail. I personally worry about the county being able to plow that road and do what maintenance they can on it. Elwood, who operates EDS Ranch, a direct-to-consumer farming business at his residence, said the road slippage is becoming a safety issue. Water District Superintendent Donnie Fawcett said he understood that the slippage was frustrating and an inconvenience for residents on the road. But he said as far as fixing that road, even if we wanted to fix that road, that's not our road. We can't just go fix the road. Bachman said the slippage has stabilized. The water level in the creek dropped when the dam was removed, but he said that since the water level has stabilized, the slippage has stabilized. The engineer's office is now seeking proposals from geotechnical engineers for driving boring holes into the ground to see what has happened there and what should be done to fix the problem. They will evaluate the most economical method of repair, Bachman said. The Salvation Army nears their goal in the annual Red Kettle campaign, by John Baker. New Philadelphia. With less than a week to go before Christmas, the Salvation Army Dover New Philadelphia Corps has reached 73% of its goal in its annual Red Kettle campaign. The organization has raised $102,855 of its $140,000 goal, according to Lieutenant Andrew Allen, who commands the local citadel with his wife, Lieutenant Amanda Allen. Residents can give the campaign a boost this Saturday as the Salvation Army stages its $20 challenge at its Red Kettle stores in the area. All donations of $20 or more, bills, checks, or donations to the group's virtual kettle will be matched up to $11,000, thanks to the generosity of the Kimball family and a gift in memory of David Hawthorne. The Red Kettle campaign is the Salvation Army's largest fundraiser of the year, providing money to fund the programs and services the group provides to the community. Allen said he is hopeful that the Salvation Army will reach its goal. We're definitely blessed by the community, he said. The kettle numbers are down this year compared to last year. That was to be expected given COVID and the economy with the loss of jobs. But he noted that different parts of the community are stepping up to help out, specifically area businesses. They came through with sponsorships, he said. If it wasn't for the sponsorships, we would be significantly behind where we should be at this point in our campaign. Sponsors include Dover Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, First National Bank of Denison, Allied Machine and Engineering, First Federal Community Bank, the Commercial and Savings Bank, Park Bank, Shane and Kelsey Gano, Cleveland Clinic Union Hospital, Dover Rotary Club, Barnett Realtors, Cox Insurance, Dover Exchange Club, Dover New Philadelphia Kiwanis Club, and American Legion Post 139 in Tuscarawas. We're very blessed to receive that kind of support, Allen said. We're very fortunate to have sponsors and donors throughout the community. He said he also appreciated it when shoppers dropped in money at the kettles. Everything helps, everything adds up, he said. The Zoar Village Council looks to get primary fire response from Bolivar, by Nancy Molnar. In Zoar, the village is at a crossroad with its fire protection service. A village council majority has decided the village will no longer pay the Zoar Volunteer Fire Department some $12,000 a year to provide fire response in the town of fewer than 200 residents. A majority of elected officials are looking towards the Bolivar Volunteer Fire Department, about 4 miles away, to replace the Zoar department. Bolivar already provides ambulance service in Zoar. The village is negotiating with Lawrence Township trustees to formally join the township's contract for fire protection with the Bolivar Department. Bolivar and Zoar are both within Lawrence Township. The future plan is for Zoar, Bolivar, and the township is to work towards a joint township-wide fire EMS service district. Zoar Mayor Scott Gordon told the Times reporter in an email. He said the Zoar Fire Station will likely still remain as a substation, but would probably be Lawrence Township Zoar Station. All volunteers, I'm sure, will be encouraged to continue as long as they meet the standards of the Joint Fire District. We believe that this approach would better serve the needs of all the area residents in a much more efficient and cost-effective manner, Gordon wrote in an email Monday to Lieutenant Ryan Lawrence, who runs the 911 dispatch center at the Tuscarawas County Sheriff's Office. The mayor told the 911 administrator that Zoar no longer has a contract with the Zoar Fire Department. Lawrence had asked Gordon in an email November 23rd who was providing fire coverage for the village. I want to make sure our dispatch center has everything up to date, Lawrence wrote. The 911 call center is no longer routing fire calls to the Zoar department, according to Sheriff Orvis Campbell. He said the calls are now going only to Bolivar. Previously, Both the Zoar and Boulevard departments were sent to any fire in Zoar. The Boulevard department provides the primary response in Boulevard and Lawrence Township. In a statement made to the Times Reporter, a representative of the Zoar department said it is still answering calls. If there's an emergency, people should call 911, the department said. If they call the station, which is 330-874-2069, we will take their questions and comments, or if it rolls to the answering machine, we'll contact them in a timely manner. The department spokesman said his statements should be credited to the ZVFD collectively. Zoar Councilman Hans Fischer wants the village to keep contracting with the Zoar Fire Department. Councilwoman Judy Miser is prohibited from voting on the ZVFD because her son Charles R. Miser is the chief and her husband Charles V. Miser is the assistant chief. Fisher said the 4 council members who voted to end the contract with the local fire department are a minority of the village's 178 residents. They are council member Tom Klingeman, David Irwin, Gail Patelicki, and Joe Patelicki. Fisher said he's trying to find a way for the other citizens of Zoar to express their opinions about the choice of fire departments, perhaps through a petition or referendum. I just want our fire department, which is at least 170 years old, to be able to do its job, Fisher said. I want to preserve the fire department here in Zoar. He said the Zoar department pumped water from his basement during the flood of 2005. He said Zoar needs its own fire department because a flooded Tuscarawas River could prevent travel along State Route 212, which links Zoar and Bolivar, as it did in 2005. Still, he said it was stupid for a fire department representative to tell council to take it or leave it during the last negotiating session with council September 8th. The fire department wanted a 5-year contract, and a majority of council wanted a shorter one. Negotiations ended after the parties could not agree on the length of the contract. In a recent letter to village residents, council said its decision to not renew the ZVFD contract was not done in haste or as part of any partisan plan. The letter listed the following concerns. The fire department has been reluctant to share with council any accounting of profits from its events, such as spaghetti dinners. Council has never received any accounting to determine whether or not this money is actually being used for the purpose that most of you who attend these dinners assume it is being used for, the letter said. Department equipment does not meet modern standards. It should be brought to your attention that the ZVFD purchased a fire truck that was going to be scrapped, the letter said. The department does not have the personnel and training for appropriate fire response. For example, it has been witnessed on more than one occasion that a member of the ZVFD responded to an alarm with a personal vehicle and once arrived to the location of an alarm on a lawnmower, the letter said. In neither case was a ZVFD member adequately prepared to address the situation. Mayor Gordon has written a 3-part report about how the ZVFD, covering its history, firefighter health concerns, training requirements, cost, and response time. It identified personal hazards for firefighters, such as the need for them to be clean-shaven to avoid accidental inhalation of toxic fumes. A beard can prevent a tight seal in the mask of breathing apparatus. I think it's especially important, and a lot of people, likely including some volunteers, don't understand this well, Gordon wrote to the Times Reporter in an email. I am a chemical, environmental engineer with years of industrial experience in health, safety, and environmental work. I grew up in Zoar, but I lived in various parts of the U.S., including 30 years in New Jersey. When the 9/11 disaster struck, when the 9/11 disaster struck, I could see the smoke from the World Trade Center, even though I lived 20 miles away. In a statement made to the Times Reporter on Tuesday, the Zoar Volunteer Fire Department said its mission is to provide life, safety, and property conservation services in the historic village of Zoar and surrounding communities. We are constantly exploring all avenues that will improve these priorities in the village and for the communities we support through mutual aid. This would also include discussions of forming a township-based fire district once proposed by the Lawrence Township trustees. The Zoar Volunteer Fire Department would like to urgently have a meeting with council regarding any issues that they may have. We feel that it's important for both entities to come to a common understanding and work together for the safety of our residents and visitors. We will continue to provide service to the village and surrounding communities until a joint decision is made. The Bolivar Volunteer Fire Department will continue to respond to fires in Zoar with or without a contract, said its Fire Chief Sean Lynch. Zoar residents are also legally residents of Lawrence Township. We're going to respond to the needs of all township residents, Lynch said. He said his department does not want to get drawn into politics. He said the Bolivar Fire Department is caught in the middle of conflicts within Zoar. He wants Zoar officials to resume negotiations with the ZVFD, perhaps through their attorneys. We are the children tied up in a messy divorce, Lynch said. It's time for marriage counseling. And now, Tuscarawas County residents donates 12,000 items to the Humane Society. Tuscarawas County resident Aaron Stockton recently donated 1,277 items to the Tuscarawas County Humane Society. Stockton began collecting donations for the Humane Society when he was 8 years old. His first collection money to help cover the adoption fees of a lost kitten he and his mother brought in. Last year, Stockton brought in 764 items. This year, that amount increased by 513. Items collected include 1 garbage bag full of plastic shopping bags, 1 box of newspapers, 22 packs of paper towels, a total of 112 rolls, 60 litter boxes, tubs and buckets, 16 laundry detergents and softeners, 45 packages of Dawn dish soap, 42 bottles of bleach, 30 containers of kitten milk replacement and nursing supplies, 3 litter scoopers, 9 grooming supplies and bottles of shampoo, 21 collars and harnesses, 3 tubes of diaper rash cream, 42 bowls and buckets and spray bottles, 4 boxes of trash bags, 8 containers of hand soap, 10 containers of hand sanitizer, 12 spray cleaners, 9 packs of gloves, 8 packs of sponges, 3 dustpans, 22 packages of Clorox wipes, 28 packs of baby wipes, 517 containers of canned wet dog and cat food, 112 towels, blankets, and sweaters, 95 treats, dogs, cat, and horse treats, 12 small bags of dog, cat, and rabbit food, 8 mops and brooms, 1 heating pad, 7 beds, 87 toys, 32 big bags of dog, cat, and horse food, 1 supply of hay, 4 shaving suppos for horses and rabbits, and 2 miscellaneous items. For more information, call 330-343-6060. Safe Communities, Tuscarawas Health Department, shared drunk driving message. Safe Communities and the Tuscarawas County Health Department have partnered with the U.S. Department of Transportation's National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to share a message about the dangers of driving drunk. Local law enforcement will participate in the high visibility national enforcement campaign, Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over, from December 18th through January 1st. Law enforcement will show zero tolerance for drunk driving. Increased state and national messages about the dangers of driving impaired, coupled with enforcement and increased officers on the road, aim to drastically reduce drunk driving on our nation's roadway. In 2019, 67% of the fatal crashes in Tuscarawas County involved some type of impairment. The organizations are also asking everyone to remember to follow safe distancing guidelines to make the holiday weekend as safe as possible. Safe Communities and the TCHD recommended alternatives to drinking and driving, including designating a sober driver, planning to use public transportation or a ride service. They also recommend taking away the keys of friends who is threatening to drive drunk and make sure they get home safely. Those who see a drunk driver on the road should call hashtag or pound sign 677. Well, friends, this concludes the reading of the Times Reporter for Monday, December 21st. My name is Pam. Thank you for having me in your home. Please remember to stay safe and have pleasant holidays and make today a great day.